I'm coming to you live and in person today. You know what? There's a lot of faceless YouTube channels out there. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing and using generative AI for their for their channels. And cool that it would probably mean that maybe there's a person behind it, but not all YouTube videos are created equally. What I mean by that is they're not always meant for good. So, what I want to caution people is that you cannot believe everything you see on YouTube. I know that's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, you kind of already know that you can't trust everything. But let me tell you what's been going on lately, because it's up and coming, because generative AI tools are becoming so prevalent. Then you have to wonder, like, what's real, what's fake, clickbait, all that stuff. Like, you need to know what to trust, who to trust, right? So unless you see a face or a live presentation, I would say do not trust it. Okay. Now, even live streams can be generated, right? So until you get that live element where you actually get people like responding to comments in real time, it's probably got something to do with generative AI and it's not real. I was just listening to a Rihanna video or watching a Rihanna video, and it wasn't Rihanna. Okay. So, but this thing got millions of views. I think it's real twisted and crooked that people would not be honest. And I feel like there's gonna be a time where people are going to start checking behind these content creators that create things solely based on generative AI. Now, I'm not saying generative AI doesn't have its good points. Everything has its good and bad. Everything has its positive and negatives. And generative AI is kind of like money. It's kind of like printing money, because money is used to exchange value for something that you want, right? Just like generative AI is a means to contribute information out to the masses. Now, generative AI is not that bad, but it's not good either. Like, there's good and bad. And so what I mean by that, there's people that's making content that is not their own, that is not truly just based on their own creative juices. Like, it's crazy. Like, if you just tell generative AI to do one thing, it's gonna do whatever you ask it to do, as long as it doesn't feel like it's not meant to be, or like it's not violating any ethical considerations. Okay, so it's fine if there's no ethical considerations. Then generative AI is gonna do exactly what you tell it to do. And also, hey, ahoy, Daniel, it's also going to create an avenue for hallucinations, for an ability to just make up stuff. There's people using generative AI to generate videos. Those videos are full of like little idiosyncrasies. Like, you see little nuances where there's a hand kind of out of joint, or there's something that's just not right, and you could tell. Also, there's people out there, hi Ashton, there's people out there generating content that has voiceovers that sound like the actual artist, but not really the artist. I've been watching motivational videos, right, that are like based on famous people. Case in point, Denzel Washington. So there's this content creator that's taking Denzel Washington and putting his face at the first couple of seconds of the motivational video, right? So when people see that, they say credibility. They say, "Oh, that's a good person. Oh, I like him." Or, "Oh, he has a great um personality," or, "He has good wise things that he would say," right? So they get that, they take that clickbait and they listen to it, and then next thing you know, they're listening, but they're listening to the words of somebody else. So this person is like, they banging, they're getting clickbait views, and they're getting monetized based on false pretenses. How do you make your live look like this? Oh, I'm on my phone. And so I'm just saying that it's best to go to content that is live, in person. Unless it's live and in person and people are interacting, like you see, I'm saying, "Hey, happy therapy." I'm actually reading, and you could see that I'm interacting with my with my audience. I would, because right now generative AI can't do that. It can't check in the comments, and I might be putting a plug for those people that might exploit that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times you have to be paying attention to the live information as opposed to generative AI. And you have to fact check. You can't even just trust it totally. You can't trust it just blindly, because more and more people are going to be making content that are not always truthful, forthright, or first person, or from a primary source. There are primary sources versus secondary sources. So secondary sources are prevailing for clickbait and different types of content that people think that, hey, it's all right for me to post up somebody else cooking, as my own, and then I can just do a voiceover. So they're getting monetized based on those things. Yes, people are looking for ways to make money. They're looking for ways to make money, and they're gonna keep on producing content that's not necessarily. Now, some of the stuff is for giggles, for shins and giggles. Some of this stuff is just to pass the time, to keep people's attention, to get somebody's attention. Attention grabbers. Yeah, that's all good, but when you start trying to learn something, make sure you're checking. Make sure you're checking the information. When I use generative AI, I always check back. I always check my source, and then whenever I create images, some of the images, especially ChatGPT and others, they don't necessarily give you great images. The first thing you have to do, you're going to probably have to tweak the image. You're probably going to have to go in Paint and edit it, or Photoshop, or whatever tool that you use to basically enhance the thing that's created. If it's generated, it's not going to always be perfect the first time. You're going to probably have to add a human element to it. So make sure whenever you're doing something, unless it has a human element to it, you can't really trust it, right? At least not 100%. It's not 100%. So the first thing you got to do, when you got to check it. You have to validate the information that's being given. Case in point, ChatGPT has failed me so many times. I asked it to give me a list of 9-letter words that don't have repeats within the word, right? And I mean repeated letters, right? Because I wanted all them to be unique. And ChatGPT can do it. I keep on asking the same thing over and over again, and it didn't give me what I asked for. So I'm like, oh my God, this thing is not, It's not always going to give you what you want, right? And so you always have to check back and make sure. Also, when I was generating my test questions for my students and for my course, I had to make sure that that information is correct, because I was creating a JSON document, and that JSON document has to be in the correct format. So there are tools out there that can help you check your JSON documentation. So if you get any generative AI information, you always have to cross check it with other valid sources. That's just the bottom line. It's come to the point where all information is not good information. I mean, we already knew that, but long gone are the days that are built on just books and stuff you read, that have, primary sources, and people have really gone through the process of giving you solid, good, truthful information. The days are coming where you're going to find people that are giving you false information from sources that are not the true sources. They're going to have copycats and lookalikes and things that are hallucinated. So that's why you have to check it. And that's why you have to make sure that there is a human element that can be verified. That's why I'm coming to you live and in person. I'm coming to you live and in person so that you know there's a human element, and I'm going to bring forth to you good information. All right. I'm going to come forth giving you firsthand knowledge, firsthand content that is not 100% like fabricated or just generated by AI without the human element. Let me go ahead and put in my shameless plug, Python code course. This is real content, right? 4 projects that you can do, and it has exercises and allows you to get that hands-on knowledge, that hands-on practice on how to, and I did this way back before generative AI was a thing. So now we have people creating content that is not their own, right? This is all my own, all my words, all my projects that I have created, because my degree is in computer science. Now people are not needing a degree in computer science. People don't need a degree in computer science anymore to produce code. Code is like a dime a dozen. It's so easy now for people to just create or generate code that doesn't need them to really, how you say, know how to code. They don't have to know how to code. You don't have to know how to code anymore. It's so easy. All you have to do is have an idea. You can go on Replit.com, go on there. There's this thing called Replit Agent. And all you have to do is use your human words to say what you want, and automatically it starts producing content for you. I think I have a video exemplifying that, but if I don't, I am going to be coming up with a new video to show you what generative AI can do. There's generative AI tools in there that can just produce a whole application with just a small prompt, And yeah, I created my auction site. I think I did post something about my auction site. So you could do an auction site. You can do so many things with generative AI that it doesn't even require you to know how to code. In a way that's good, because if you want to start a business, it's so easy nowadays, so much easier than it was back in 2020. Before 2020, like, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't, ChatGPT really changed the game for a lot of things, for a lot of people. So I'm telling you, you have to make sure there's a human element though. So that being the case, I'm putting together my generative AI course that allows you to learn how to do that very thing, to put in or put forth that human component. That learning curve is going to be shorter because you using generative AI. So that's the good part. It helps you learn things a lot faster, helps you do things a lot faster, but you always have to be part of that and be um, ethically mindful. You have to be mindful ethically, because there is a non-ethical component to generative AI these days. And so that is one of the modules that I mentioned in my generative AI, how to make money from generative AI. Okay. So that's one of the module is having ethical considerations, copywriting, licensing, and things of that nature. So all of that is going to be part of the course. I want y'all to look forward to getting into this course. I might give a few spoiler videos to show you all the ins and outs, but it's all gonna be live. It's all gonna be live when I give the spoilers, when I give you the different module lessons in the modules. Um, but I'm not gonna give the whole thing, right? Because it's kind of like me motivating you to come on onlinetutorhouse.com and really, patronize me. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time that that's what I'm doing. I'm being honest with you. I'm being humble with you, open and transparent, because there has to be a level of transparency for you to trust anything these days. It has to be. Okay, that's really all I got for you. Make sure there is a human element and a level of transparency that happens with it. Any channel that you watch, in any person that you watch. Okay. All right. I hope that y'all have a great and wonderful day. Y'all stay tuned, because I am going to come to you live, and I'm going to give you a live demonstration next time I'm going to stream, so that you can see the inside edition of generative AI and making money with it. All right. Thank you. Bye now.